All right, so this is gonna be a little bit different of a video compared to what I usually do. Usually I'm bumping to gangster rap and shooting all the time, and I'm gonna be just talking in this video, so if you don't wanna hear me talk, just keep on scrolling. If you do, the topic of this video is gonna be on dry fire and what we can do to be more proficient during dry fire. So before I get started on the actual topic of dry fire, I figured I'd show you guys what I'm using. So this is my EDC, this is my everyday carry, this is my go-to at this time. It's basically the only pistol that I'm shooting. I'll talk about the whole setup though. This is a ZevTech OZ9CX. It's the same size as a 19X, but made completely in-house by ZevTech. Got a Trijicon SRO on there and a Surefire X300. Really happy with the Zev. I've got about 5,000 rounds down this gun, and really enjoying it. Love the grip, just love everything about it. Trigger's very nice, and I just shoot it well, and that's really important. So the holster I carry with every day is the T-Rex Arm Sidecar. It's my favorite holster on the market. In my opinion, it might be the best, but I'm not gonna say that. Hunter Orange, I went with something crazy. This is obviously a AIWB holster appendix, right? So I'm not gonna carry this at like the 3 or 4 o'clock with the Mag Caddy here, which is very nice for those fast reloads. And honestly, in my opinion, it just makes the holster or the gun just sit so much more comfortably. So that's what I'm using. I've got their competitors here. Whoa, you guys are gonna get mad at me. Tier 1 concealed wedge packs right here. Make the holster just a touch more comfortable, and it allows me to have a little bit more of a consistent draw when I'm coming out of the holster. So yep, that's my setup. Now before I get off topic any more than I already have, because that seems to happen when I just start jibber-jabbering and talking about gear, the reason for this video is dry fire. So we have a ton of new gun owners in America, and that is awesome. We need more people like you. We need more gun owners in America. Good people with guns stops bad guys with guns. We all know that now, or at least most of us do. So what is dry fire, right? Dry fire is something we can do at home for 100% free. We don't have to spend any money to do it. We don't have to go to the ammo shop and get some ammo. We don't have to go to the gun store or Walmart that used to sell ammo. We don't have to put our ear pro on and get all decked out. We can do this in our pajamas. We can do this at home. We could do this really naked if we want. I just don't suggest it. Dry fire is training without actually having the recoil of the gun when you're actually pulling the trigger. So you can do 95% of the stuff you would do on and off the range at home for free. All right, the only thing you're not gonna get out of dry fire is actually getting that gun to flip as you recoil. So your recoil control obviously is not going to be getting trained at this time. Now, one of the things that I used to do, and one of the things I see a lot of people doing, and it's not a bad thing, but every time they dry fire, they might be going 120%. And this is something I used to do. And all you're doing, and basically all I found that I was doing, you might not be doing this, is that I was training bad reps constantly. I wasn't worried, or I wasn't focusing on how I'm clearing my t-shirt. Am I getting that master grip on the pistol? Am I seeing a nice sight picture as I push out? How's my grip feel? How's my trigger press? I kind of was just going 100%. Now granted, that wasn't a terrible grip, but did I feel good about it? No. Is that an acceptable speed? No. Is that realistic? No. That was probably like a 0.72 draw. Not realistic for me from concealment. So like I said, we don't want to go 120 miles an hour. Let's get those good reps every single time we draw, every time we press a trigger, every reload we do. Let's feel how we're doing. How are we gripping that gun? How's the trigger feel when I press it? What are my sights doing when I press this trigger? Is my dot going way low and left? Is my sights moving up and to the right, whether you're running irons or whatnot? And that's something we really want to focus on. So something I was listening to the other day was a podcast or maybe a YouTube video with Max Michel. And he was talking about how he dry fires at about 60 to 70% speed. And I think that's awesome. It was also about 6 months ago that I read a book that talked about dry fire. It was, written by a professional shooter, and it was talking about dry firing at certain speeds, pushing yourself, but then bringing it back down. And it really popped into my head. That's something we want to do at the range, right? I'm shooting. I'm doing pretty good. I step it up. Okay, I can shoot faster. I'm still holding the accuracy. Okay, I can shoot a little bit faster. All right, I shot a little too fast. I have a D, or I have a miss on this target, and I completely whiffed my first shot on this target, right? I'm gonna bring it back down to that comfortable level. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple things you can do at home, and this is also gonna be a YouTube video down the future. I filmed some of it, but I figured right now I'll just throw it up on IGTV so you guys can see it quickly. Now when I dry fire, I do everything that I would on the range at home. I get that good stance, all right? I relax. So many people are so tense when they're shooting doing this. We all remember a certain person that shoots like this. So I'm stay relaxed, my body's relaxed, I have no pressure, and I might start out on that first draw 50% speed. I'm not using a timer. You can use one if you want, that's great. I'm not using one right now, so take that good breath. How'd that grip feel? Did I see my sights? Did my sights line up on my target? How did I press that trigger? Okay, I'll do that a couple more times. All right, that felt good. That felt good. Let's go one more nice one. All right, that's good. Now, one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people do, and this is something I used to do too until I realized it, and something I once again learned from another awesome shooter, JJ Ricazza, and that is during dry fire or even during shooting, we don't want to ever pin the trigger. And pinning the trigger is this right here, okay? And then basically the gun cycles under recoil, and then I'll wait till I hear the click, and then I press the trigger slowly again. When we're dry firing, we want to get off that trigger as fast as possible. So this is what it's going to look like. See how I come off to basically where that wall would have been, right there? I'm not pinning the trigger and holding it, cycling the gun, and then letting it out slow. I am waiting, and I'm getting off that trigger, basically back to the wall. That way when my sights are aligned, or if I want to press out another shot, press off another shot when I do, I can do that. So do not pin your trigger. So we talked about trigger press, we talked about measuring our speed and overall capabilities of the draw and everything else. Now, we don't have to just stand still in front of a mirror every day and just do this. We can do everything we want to do on the range, at home. You just can't fire any bullets. So if I wanted to move, I can do that. If I want to move this way, shoot some targets, maybe bust a reload, shoot some targets over there, I can do that, right? We can also work some one-handed stuff. Pull it out, I get my shot, I lock it to the rear, I drop that mag, all right, I insert, I grab my other magazine, I send it home, fire my shot. There's so much stuff we can do, and it doesn't just have to be with the pistol, it can be with the rifle. So many things. I just put a couple targets around my house. What I like to do is every time my wife orders another package from Amazon, I take out a couple pieces of the cardboard that they usually put in there as filler, and I put them up on the wall. So I might have 3 or 4 targets up on the wall at this time. So be real with yourself, all right? Don't cheat yourself. Really work on those good reps. Work on them constantly. Work on that draw. Work on those reloads, you know? Do all this stuff right there. All this will help you become a better shooter. All right, so that was kind of a quick down and dirty version of how to dry fire, and I really didn't go over a ton, okay? I could go on for a couple more hours about dry fire and what to do, what not to do, how to focus, what to do during dry fire, but I'm not gonna do that today. Maybe another time. If you got any questions about dry fire, training, gear, guns, anything that I do and love, like I love it, shoot me a DM over at Blackiron Gunner, my Instagram page. I'll get back to you within 24 hours. If you guys are interested in any private training or just training in general, check out my website, Blackiron Performance, or my Instagram page, Blackiron Performance. Send me a DM over there if you want, but probably just send it to Blackiron Gunner. I'll see it sooner. Local Ohio classes only. I'm not traveling at this time due to, you know, getting off work's a pain, and I don't do it full time. So if you want to train, come out to one of my courses. If you're not around the Ohio area and you need to go take a course from somebody, send me a DM. I will shoot you over to the right guys, and guys you should trust and allow you to train with a firearm. So besides that, I hope you guys learned something today again, and until next time, let's get one in. I just don't know if it's going to be a good one. Dope.